Alright, yo, what's good YouTube? Sean here, can memorize it. Today we are into the best spooky scary Sunday so far by Corey's Kitchen. And you guys see them, it's like 42 minutes, y'all. Come on. We reacting to 25 minutes and I'm stopping it. 25 minutes, we're cutting it, alright? But if there's no stop time between like 25 minutes, like if it's like during the animation, well, obviously we're not stopping it during the animation. That's rude. We're gonna finish the animation and then end it. You know what I'm saying? You know what? That's the pleasant thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But we're all right now on the road to 1K. So if you guys can help out, I really appreciate that. And let's hop right into the video. Let's get it.
Your face like eyes when I let the punchline hit. I can speak blood talk like I bit my lip. I can speak Snoop Dogg to a song with Crip. No gangs, but I'm popping from my clicks. Now I know they like it when I switch. My Nintendo with a Caitlyn chick. And I lay with chicks and I'm blazing with my amazing weight. And I'm saying this like a flaming weed. Blow me, I love to be on and you bro. See, I'm slowly.
I have failed you. Yesterday was an embarrassment. Spooky Scary Sunday is everything to me. And yet yesterday I was unprepared. I apologize. But we're back today. Spooky Scary Sunday, guys. Who cares about—
Bro, back up from the camera. I forgive you. It's okay. Obviously, I watched it. I just didn't react to it.
about all this serious talk, guys? Come on. We know what time it is. It's time to get our snacks. Guys, go ahead and get your snacks. Get something good. It's gonna be a great episode, all right? You do this every time. Why are you still standing there? Go get your snacks. I can see you sitting there since you want to be smart about it. Get your snacks. So if you don't know what Spooky Scary Sunday is by now, then I'm gonna just be normal with y'all this week. Subscribe, okay? You're new. Obviously, if you weren't, you would know what Spooky Scary Sunday is. So take a minute, subscribe. And while you're at it, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. On Instagram, we're still not verified at over 923,000 followers. So help me get to 1 million. Maybe they'll verify me then. Anyway, Spooky Scary Sunday is a show where every Sunday, all the samurai get together. We gather and congregate with our small little measly 6 million subscriber base, and we kick back and relax and watch some scary videos sent in by you guys via Twitter using the hashtag Spooky Scary Sunday. You go to Twitter, follow me at Corey Kitchen, which I already told you about 30 seconds ago. Hashtag Spooky Scary Sunday, and leave a link to the scariest video that you know. And if your video gets picked, you get a freaking shout out, dude! So sit back, relax, grab some snacks. Go ahead and get you a bowl of Apple Jacks with a side of buttered toast and finish it off with a glass of orange juice. And with that being said, first video.
It must be breakfast time for him.
Now this first video is called Railroad, and it was uploaded by Meat Canyon. It's a Meat Canyon video. You know what time it is. Now this was sent to us by Bryson. So Bryson, hope you're having a fantastic day. I think Bryson is a cool name. Bryson. Reminds me of Bison from Street Fighter. Alright, that was a nice shout out. Turn that up, turn that up! Oh, it's cars.
I always forgot how beautiful it can be up here at night. You sure is right about that, Lightning McQueen.
Sometimes
Hold up.
it feels like we're the only two people in the world that know about this spot.
Funny you should say that, 'cause I saw a train on my way up here today.
Well, trains are
neater.
pretty common around these parts. I mean, there's tracks everywhere.
Well, it was downright strange. Wasn't like no train I'd never seen before.
Was it blue? Like a mystical blue. Almost as if the train had become one with the air around it.
This feels so weird.
Oh, yes! I couldn't have said it any better myself, Lightning. Man, that's exactly what it looked like.
When I had that wreck a while back,
Oh, boy, I remember. We all didn't think you were gonna make it out alive.
it's pretty weird. When I had the wreck, I had such an odd dream.
Okay.
It was a strange feeling. It was a place I've never seen before, but felt as if I'd spent a lifetime there. And the only resemblance from the normal world was the sound of a train coming my way.
It is called Railroad.
I felt fear more than anything. Though it was the sound of a train, it felt like a thunderstorm. Like an earthquake was going to destroy the ground around me. And I would fall into a sea of nothingness. All I could do was anxiously hold my breath and brace for impact.
Oh my gosh.
But the impact never came. Instead, a smiling face appeared, melting from the darkness. Pale and cold, screeched forward on its tracks, only to stop right in front of me.
Ew.
Back
It
up.
was as if I'd never spoken a single word in my life.
Haven't played Crossout before? Now is the time. Crossout is a free action
Now is the
game
time
where you
to
craft
leave.
I couldn't conjure a single sentence to say to him.
Nightmare fuel. Dude, I'm driving
The
off.
train finally spoke, and I can still hear his voice in my mind.
I have seen past the farthest star, and I have gone to the edges of the earth. If you so choose, I can give you all the things you
Bro, get out my ear, bro.
It's the devil.
taste from the tallest chalice,
Nope.
dine at the largest halls.
Yes, sir, Cord.
All I ask in return is your soul.
That's the devil.
A chance at a life without pain, without heartache.
Nope.
All this I can give you, and
Look at his face. He's like
Listen.
so sad.
just for your soul.
Oh my goodness.
I asked back to him, what of life after death? What of the paradises that await me in heaven above? The train did not look at me.
Facts.
It didn't make a single sound. Through all the steam and moving parts controlling this demonic vessel, its only reply was,
Drain of woes.
Huh?
God has turned his back on you. That's why my tracks still push me forward.
I don't understand
my
what you...
body was afraid. Something new and unknown. May it be death? May it be hardship? Suddenly I woke from this nightmare.
Wow. I tell you what, that's downright horrifying.
Well, I haven't really slept well since then.
Oh, come on, Lightning. It's just a train. Nothing to be afraid of out here.
Nope, don't scare.
Uh-oh.
I know you're right.
Uh-oh.
There's nothing to be afraid of now.
Uh-oh! You gotta hand it to me, King. He don't play around.
Oh my gosh.
Now this next one is old, but I finally got the permission to react to it. So shout out to you, Nightmare Tales. It's called The Diner. It's uploaded by Nightmare Tales. This was sent to us by Marty on Twitter. So Marty, I appreciate you. This is your shout out. This is your time, Marty. To all the Martys across the world. Nightmare Tales. Black Steel Diner.
On a cold, dark night, around 2 in the morning, a young man and his father sat in a remote 24-hour diner waiting to be served.
This narrator got a nice voice. Guys, low-key, I feel like I have a great, like, narration voice. Like, check me out. There was a man. Stop, you're making me laugh.
The older man, who was sadly, slowly going senile, had insisted on going out for some soup. Not having the energy to argue, the son took him out, for at least this way his father would be happy, and then he could get some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
The waiter walked over, welcomed them to the diner, and then asked if they were ready to order, to which they replied they were.
That looked
The
crazy.
waiter recommended for them to try the burgers.
Waiter look crazy.
Best in the West, he said, with a smile that made their skin crawl. They declined and proceeded to order what they came for. The old man ordered tomato soup, and the son a coffee. When the waiter walked away, the son asked his father if he had thought the waiter looked familiar. Not surprisingly, the father said he had never seen him before. But why? He asked. The son proceeded to tell him that he thought he looked a lot like a man he saw on the news that was wanted for murder in another state. But he could easily be mistaken. This made the father quite uncomfortable, so he told his son to shut up and change the subject. Instead, the son then got up, told his father he was going to the bathroom and would be back in a minute.
He finna kill him.
Uh-oh.
The father waited and waited. Almost 15 minutes had passed, and his son hadn't returned.
Bro, go check on him.
He also hadn't seen the waiter again. Where was his son? And where was his soup? Just as he finished asking himself
Where's my son? But more importantly, where's my soup?
this, the waiter appeared with the soup.
That's his son. They put like his son in his super probably.
Oh, that's blood.
Well, you took your time with that, the old man said.
Wait,
dang.
I'm sorry, sir.
So they probably killed him. Either they either like that's his son. Like they put like I don't know bits and pieces of his son and food and stuff. That's why you want to have the burgers, or that's probably his blood. Just put it in the soup. Either one. Like he's dead.
Said the waiter.
Old people.
We had some issues in the kitchen. Where's my son? The old man asked the waiter. Oh, I'm sure he's not far. I have a feeling you'll be seeing him really soon. And with this, he placed the bowl down on the table with a smile that would have given anyone the creeps. The old man turned to his soup and then dipped his spoon in to take his first mouthful.
Eyeball.
As he lifted the spoon, something else came with it.
Oh!
Some glasses. What the hell? He thought to himself. A horrible chill ran through his body when he realized whose glasses they were. His son's. The old man looked across at the waiter and was overcome with rage when he saw the waiter's sickly grin staring back at him.
He's about to die now.
He grabbed a knife, leapt out of his seat, and stabbed the waiter in the chest. The blade went straight through his heart, and while bleeding profusely all over the floor, he died.
Boy.
Right at this moment, the son appeared from the kitchen and screamed at his father, "No! What have you done? It was a prank. We were playing a prank." The old man couldn't believe what he was hearing. A prank? But he's a... Oh my God, he thought to himself as the reality quickly set in. I've killed him. The father and son had to act quickly. They grabbed the body and decided to stash it in the cool room.
Yo! No! Call the police! No, that's on y'all, alright? That ain't on that.
To buy them some time. They would then clean the floor
Y'all
and
play too
disappear
much.
as if they had never been there.
Y'all princes everywhere.
Perfect, they thought. There were no witnesses and no one to stop them. Well, that's what they thought, until they slid back the door to the cool room and were greeted by a sight so shocking it made both of them wish they were dead. They had disturbed the waiter's brother, hard at work, making meat for burgers. The best in the West, apparently. Not that they would ever know.
I told y'all though, it wasn't him, but it was a brother. I still said it. Yeah, I told
Double
y'all.
twist I've ever seen in my life.
Facts.
Outplayed. Capture your best gaming moments. Outplayed automatically saves your game's high.
That's a lot. Man, I wanted to do. Probably the last animation.
This next one is called Mermaids, and it was uploaded by the GOAT himself, David Ramiro. If y'all don't know who David Ramiro is, I'm talking Pleasant Inn. I'm talking Midnight Snack. I could go on. This was sent to us by Bob Man. So Bob Man. See, I was trying to think of a Bob the Builder joke. Ah! Mermaids. That is not my idea of a mermaid. What's wrong with your arms? Why is your face? Oh my. Ugh! Oh my. Guys, whatever you thought mermaids looked like was wrong. Grudge sound effects? No. Oh! That was just a loud noise, that's all. What is that? What is that?
I'm disturbed. If I get jump scared, bro.
Look at the big one! Woo-wee! Now that was unsettling. Y'all know one of my deepest fears is the ocean. Just the thought of being down so deep that the sun's rays cannot reach you anymore. Utter and complete darkness. And then just some huge, massive organism floating towards you.
I'm just happy I didn't get
This next
scared.
one is called Night Security Training Video, and I'm a little hyped, and I'm a little biased. The thumbnail was Freddy Fazbear, so I know this has to do with FNAF. It was uploaded by Squimpus McGrimpus, one of the most fire YouTube names I ever heard. Now, this was sent to us by Fate Nians, by the way. I don't know how, by the way, I don't know how I'm supposed to be saying that. He also said, whenever you see this, better slice that like button. I think he was talking to y'all on that one. Go ahead and do it. Right down there. Thank you. But thank you for sending me this. This is now your shout out for the next 3 seconds. Enjoy. All right then.
Welcome to your new job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
All right.
This video will elaborate on your duties as a nighttime security guard and will get you up to speed on the tools.
This is so authentic. This legitimately seems like a video that they would sit you in a room and sometimes I get too excited, I choke on my spit.
Guard and will get you up to speed on the tools you will be using.
All right.
Section 1, CCTV System.
I hate them cameras.
On your work desk should be a large tablet. Instead of using a desktop computer to access CCTV cameras, you'll be using this touchscreen tablet.
Freaking
Pressing
tablet.
the button on the side will boot it up and introduce you to a possibly unfamiliar interface. There should be a map of the restaurant on the bottom right corner.
Yep.
Pressing the buttons on the map will change the...
Oh, I got chills. Ooh, I got chills!
Section 2. Door controls. You might have noticed the two large doors to your sides, and also your lack of provided flashlight. But why is that? You will need to use a flashlight with these specially engineered door controls. Pressing the white button will activate the light set outside the door, illuminating a...
This is fire!
Possible dangers. During the night, we allow our animatronics to roam the building to keep them from locking up and keeping repair costs low. However, this does pose the threat of an animatronic entering your office and possibly damaging valuable equipment.
Or
use the security doors to keep them out of your office.
Should I be scared? Oh. Whoa, the hidden room in the back room hallway, the boards break. I gotta pause this, guys. Boards break them. I'm in there. Michael, your father. I'm your father. I want to talk to you. I only want see my boy. The lore is escaping me. Michael Afton? So that means if the father was talking, this is William Afton. I'm in there, Michael. Yo, this is crazy, dude. This is crazy, dude. That scared me. I think I'm gonna have to give y'all a 10 this week just cause of that video. How many minutes has it been? I'm terrified. This next one is called The Night Shift, and it was uploaded by Animated Horror Flicks. What's up, dude? Now this was sent to us by, I don't have their name pulled up. Now this was sent to us by Buck195.
Last one, so, I want to see this.
You gonna
Last
give me
one.
a nickel and make that $2?
One.
If you ever buy anything from Apple, you should use WikiBuy. It's a browser extension that automatically...
The Animated Horror Flicks presents... Just reaching for my water bottle. The Night Shift. Whenever it's a night shift of anything, it's gonna be good, man. Facts.
I don't usually hold back when it comes to talking about my job, which was working security at the sub-level of a local hospital.
Okay.
You'd be surprised to know how common break-ins were at that place.
Oh.
Which usually ended up being a couple of junkies trying to get high on some of the weird chemicals that were being kept in the labs.
Nah. Security.
It started out as a regular graveyard shift at work, but I'll lead in with a curious backstory regarding the doors that led to the morgue. In order to keep the place more sanitized, they had recently installed sliding doors that would automatically open if someone passed in front of them.
I like this animation.
Thus removing the need to touch any handles or doorknobs, and prevent anyone from leaving the doors open by accident. There wasn't anything really unique about the sliding doors, except for the fact that they would sometimes open and close by themselves.
Oh, heck nah.
That by itself didn't seem like such a big deal, since this could have been caused by something small such as a moth flying in front of the sensor. Until one night, I realized that it would always happen at the same time.
Oh!
Every night, at exactly 3 AM, the doors would open for a few seconds and then close.
It's creepy. It's a demon!
I was convinced that the doors had been programmed with some kind of time-based trigger, but when I contacted the company that installed the doors, they told me that it wasn't possible since the doors were designed only to open when the sensors were triggered or forced open manually.
Well, it's not the
So it
latter.
continued without any explanation for a long time after that and became sort of a ritual for me and my co-workers to watch the doors open and close on the monitors every night. Usually there would be at least 2 guards on duty, but that night,
I ended up working the graveyard shift by myself because the other security guard suddenly became ill and there wasn't enough time to find a temp who could fill in at such short notice.
Okay. Not good.
Just to be clear, I had been working as a security guard for a long time, so I was no stranger to danger and I wasn't worried about working alone at night. Besides, the work was pretty straightforward. All I had to do is make sure all the doors were locked and secured and keep a close eye on the monitors.
That's all you ever have to do. Sounds easy enough, but let me tell you something that's gonna make it a little bit easier for you. Let me bring something to work that's gonna make it a little bit easier. That I don't care about no ghosts or no 3 a.m. demons, these buckshots.
There were only 2 cameras, one overlooking the control room and another one at the other end of the corridor overlooking the entrance to the morgue. As the clock approached 3 a.m., I did what all the guards on duty would do: sit back and enjoy the show. Although the novelty of seeing this phenomenon had long worn off, it was still something I would anticipate and would often give me the chills, seeing how it was the entrance to the morgue and that you could sense a sudden rush of cold air every time the doors would open.
It's a demon!
Even from the other end of the corridor.
I told you!
I watched patiently as the doors opened, followed by the howling rush of cold air that could be heard from under the door. It was when I glanced away from the door and looked to the monitors that I noticed something strange. The doors remained open.
Uh-oh.
At first I thought it might be a glitch with the monitor and I was simply looking at a frozen frame. But then I saw the lights flicker. I waited for a few minutes, but it soon became clear that I would have to head on down to the end of the corridor since it was strictly prohibited for the doors to the morgue to remain open. As I stepped out into the corridor, I acknowledged a significant drop in temperature, which I knew was going to get considerably worse as I approached the morgue.
Corey, give him your shotgun. Exactly, give him your shotgun, bro.
I gradually made my way down the corridor and turned the corner that ultimately led me to the sliding doors.
Draw your weapon, sir!
I had hoped that the doors might have closed by the time I got there, but just as I had seen on the monitor, the doors were in fact still open and the camera was functioning. Only when I turned my back to observe the corridor did the doors finally close, which was quickly accompanied by a cold chill in the air.
Uh-oh.
He did.
Uh-oh.
I could feel an overwhelming sense of someone standing right behind me as the hairs on the back of my neck began to spike.
I told him. Then he gonna turn around like, bro, soon as I feel somebody behind, I don't waste any time. If you are in a situation and you feel somebody behind you and you turning around like these, hey, whatever happens to you, you just you
body.
That
you gotta be like, what's up? He did.
But it turned out to be more of the same eerie silence as before. Since the doors had already closed without having to actually enter the morgue, I considered myself fortunate and hurried back to the control room to make sure nothing else was out of place. I closed the door and locked it from the inside, and for a moment I was expecting it to be business as usual as I sat back down in front of the monitors. But after taking a quick sip of my coffee, I realized the coffee was stone cold. Not just lukewarm as you would expect, but genuinely chilled. I hadn't been away from the desk for that long, so it didn't make much sense at all. But then I remembered that I had felt that same chill before at the other end of that corridor. Out of curiosity, I decided to rewind the security footage back to when I approached the doors to see if I could spot anything out of the ordinary. Which is when I witnessed something that I simply couldn't explain.
What?
There was a girl standing in front of the doors behind me. I couldn't really make out her face due to her long black hair. That was a stark contrast to the white gown she was wearing. She just stood there staring right at me and then walked towards the exit. To this day, I can't explain it, because I had just been there and I hadn't seen anyone. It was when I checked the other camera overlooking the entrance to the control room that really sent a chill down my spine and still gives me nightmares to this day.
When the lights came back on, it was as if nothing happened. The door to the control room was open despite being locked from the inside just moments before. Due to the mysterious power surge, most of the data on the drives had been completely corrupted.
Okay.
But some of the security footage did survive.
You got me on that one.
Holding on to it ever since. I guess now would be the time to ask yourself, do you believe in ghosts?
That was clean. That was clean.
It's been 30 minutes. You guys can watch the rest of it, so you probably already have. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Road to 1K.